What is going on, everybody? It's the Johnson. We're here for an unscripted episode of NXT review for the latest episode of NXT, the Royal Rumble and Worlds Collider. In the review, we are on our way to NXT TakeOver Portland, coming to you in about 3 weeks or 2.5 weeks from now. This was a fun show. This had the best match of the week of the night. Of course, on Wednesday, that week being the Broserweights versus the Grizzled Young Vets. All four guys are awesome. I am one of those people who speaks out against mostly the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic having makeshift tag teams from Ricochet and Aleister Black to Finn Balor and Samoa Joe to just it just seems like the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. There's another one too that I can't think off the top of my head. So that's three. Yeah, 3 teams, and the ones that share the Broserweights with 3 teams just thrown together at last minute, it seems like, and win the Dusty Cup. But outside of Ricochet, Aleister Black, and Mojo and Finn Balor, where those ones just were there for the cup, and then they were done after the tag team. The latter, the tag team title match. This one just seems like these guys are gonna be sticking around together for a bit. They have a name. Even Ricochet and Aleister Black didn't have a name, as well as Finn Balor and Samoa Joe didn't have a name. They just felt like a thrown together tag team. This team feels like they are meshed together. It just feels like these guys have been teaming a lot outside of WWE. I don't know. I didn't follow their careers, but this one feels different than the others. Now the show started off with Trent Seven versus Finn Balor. Well, actually, no. The show started off Marvin Allen welcoming us to the show with Beth Phoenix and Nigel McGuinness there. Beth Phoenix emotional about what happened on Monday, saying the family's great weekend that they had was ruined by Randy Orton, and she wants to be by her husband's side. You can see the tears. She's choking back tears or holding back tears, trying not to cry, trying to get through this entire episode, this entire speech here, and says she wanted to be home with Adam, but Adam told her to come to work. We are performers, and this is what we do. So Nigel, Mara, let's do this. So great to see them continuing this on, and it didn't just seem like, oh, this is just a main roster storyline. Beth is a part of this. So great to see that they didn't just skip over that and they went straight into that head first. Be interesting to see what happens on Monday for that, but that is Monday and this is now. Then we go into Finn Balor versus Trent Seven. This match is happening because the night before, on Tuesday apparently, Trent Seven was at the Performance Center, either getting out of his car, getting into his car, a camera crew talking to him, when Finn Balor comes up from behind and just starts choking him with the guy's own front door, the driver's side door, and saying, "Stay out of my, you and your mate need to stay out of my business, or I'm going to do to you what I'm going to do to Gargano at the next pay-per-view, which is of course TakeOver." So Seven is going to enter the ring. You know his roll through, that his rolling to from the apron to the inside like he usually does. Finn Balor's like, I ain't got time for this shit. Drop kicks him out, starts beating the hell out of him. This was a few minutes. This was like a 5, 6, 7 minute match, with 6 of it being dominated by Finn Balor. Seven did get some moves in on him for about a minute, but this was all Finn Balor. Just from start to finish, all Finn Balor, minus a little hiccup here. Coup de grace as towards the end of this match, as Trent Seven is laying in the middle of the ring. He was like way down, way in the middle. It looked like he was way too far away, but he still hits it. Picks him up, hits the 1916, 1, 2, 3, and Finn Balor is your winner. Trent Seven showing that he is slower than usual. Like, I don't know what it is. It just feels like Trent Seven. I said this before in a review too. Trent Seven, since he's come to WWE, has seemed to have slowed down a bit and seemed to have let himself go maybe a little bit more. I could be wrong. Balor stares at the camera and sends warning to Gargano about ahead of the TakeOver Portland match, which will be absolutely fire. Now, when they're coming down the ramp, there's a spot right at the end of the ramp where you actually see like an NXT logo. Usually, right now, it's the TakeOver Portland logo. which I think is cool, is a big, huge saw blade and two chainsaw blades on the side where the takeover word is. So, just again, these are just becoming. These logos are awesome. I can't wait to see the pirate logo we're gonna have for Ciampa in 2 months. We go to break. We come back and we get some teasers for a number that can indicate something on 5/2/20. It's got these two blue flames, and 5 on the left side of the screen, 2 on the right side of the screen, and 20 at the top of the screen. So we're wondering what is going on here. What is this meaning? We'll find out next week. Now, it could have also been 5/2/20, but it's actually 2/5/20. It's going to be for next week, as they do in a later vignette. But the fact that they went with 5/2/20 instead of 2/5/20, that led to speculation for a second, if you were watching this, that it could be for May. But I don't think they'd be starting. NXT and WWE is not going to start hyping something up 4 months out. Just not going to happen like that. Then we get Shotzi Blackheart versus Deonna Purrazzo. Shotzi Blackheart comes out in a tank. A mini tank that says TCB on it with a skull. And I'm sitting here wondering, did you steal that from, did Sammy Guevara steal did Sammy Guevara borrow her tank for his mini invasion of the Minute Maid Park for the Royal Rumble weekend? Because there were pictures of him outside Minute Maid Park doing his own DX style invasion. So I was like, this must be something that she does. I guess we might be seeing this every time, who knows? But she drove that thing all the way down to the stairs. And then she gets in the ring, and then Deonna Purrazzo comes out, her opponent, which, by the way, they misspelled Purrazzo and only gave her one Z. Somebody did mention this on Twitter. And Deonna Purrazzo's coming down, and that tank got all the way back up the ramp for some reason. I don't get that. But Deonna Purrazzo, this was a short match, and Deonna Purrazzo's obviously on the side of the I'm going to put other people over for the time being, and then when it comes around and I've done this for a couple months, I'm going to end up going away for a bit, possibly getting a new name, and then coming back and becoming a star of the division. Right now, she's not on the star end of the spectrum. She's on the jobber end of the spectrum. Shotzi nails a lung blow. She goes up top while Deonna is down, hits a big senton splash. 1, 2, 3. Shotzi Blackheart beats Deonna Purrazzo. After the match, Blackheart celebrates, goes back to her mat, and she exit with a mini take, riding it to the back. So, hey, this woman has green hair. It is part of her character. I have no problem with the mini tank. If anybody thinks that the mini tank is a problem, then I don't know what to tell you. It's part of Shotzi Blackheart. If that's what she does, then hell, by all means, it makes her stand out from everybody else. I mean, outside of the green hair. Even if she was like, drop the green hair and go to black hair or blonde hair or something, but still rode that tank, that would still be something that would make her stand out compared to everybody else. We get to see Keith Lee winning the North American title from last week, and we go to commercial break. We see highlights from Worlds Collide. Then out comes North American champion Keith Lee to a big pop, fans chanting his name. He introduces himself as the Limitless North American champion. Now, I think what he should have said is, I am your new North American champion and I am limitless. But he went with Limitless North American champion. You deserve it. Champ breaks out. He goes on about winning the title last week and says he's a moment maker, a game changer, and as of last week, a prophecy ender. And he says next on his agenda is out comes Damian Priest, so we don't get to hear what's on his next on his agenda. Priest does his entrance. Priest takes the mic and says he doesn't know if Lee is aware of this, but he likes taking things. That means something. It could be a group of women, which Keith Lee had this look on his face like, what the fuck? Or prized possession, says. Or prized possession. And he wants the North American title, and he wants it now. He says, and Lee says, of course you do. So does everyone else. Priest just wants to know how Lee is going to give that title to him. Then out comes Dominik Dijakovic. Dijakovic says he and Lee have had some of the share of the battles, some of the best. And if anyone deserves this title, it's Lee. Lee says you're damn straight. Dijakovic says if anyone is going to be the first to challenge Lee, it won't be some bootleg Marilyn Manson. And the look on Keith Lee, the reaction Keith Lee had was absolutely priceless for this remark. It will be him, of course, but the reaction from the fans was one thing. But Keith Lee just getting that, oh my god, like that look and that, like, oh, he just burned him. That was hilarious. They face off for a minute. Lee says it looks like they have a debate to handle, so he's going to leave to that. He goes to leave, but Dijakovic stops him, grabbing him by the shoulder intent, and they have a few words. We can't hear, of course. Peace does the same to Dijakovic from behind. They face off and have words as Lee watches on. Lee finally drops down, exits the ring, and Priest ends up dropping Dijakovic with a punch as Lee exits. We get a referee out here, and we have a match. General Manager Real Regal just made this official that quick. So we get Dominik Dijakovic versus Damian Priest. This, of course, is not a complete number one contenders match for the North American Championship, but it should be a number one contenders match for the North American Championship. Coming out of this week, everything outside of the North American Championship has been made for the show. Like, we have 4 matches going into the takeover card, but we do not have this match named yet. And I think after this show, I think the North American Championship match should be named. Good match between these two here. Priest with a nasty, massive poison runner off the top rope, which was absolutely crazy. Fans go wild. Dijakovic kicks out at 2. Dijakovic blocks the reckoning, hits the Feast Your Eyes, and gets the win. So Dijakovic recovers as he slowly gets up. His music is playing, and we get that. So I think we should get this match at TakeOver. These guys have had countless matches, all on NXT television. I don't think they've had a match on TakeOver, and I think it's about time. The last and final match between these two should be at TakeOver, and it has been a while. It wasn't like the last 2 matches where we had one match, and then about a week and a half later, like 2 weeks later, we had another match. It's been a couple weeks. It's been a couple months, actually. So, if you want to give us this match next month and the next TakeOver, I'm all for it. Dijakovic, Keith Lee, North American Championship. It'll be a good stopgap for Keith Lee before he goes on to take over Ciampa to defend the title against whom? I don't know. We see the Grizzly Young Vets warming up. We see highlights of what led them to the tournament finals, and then we get backstage to Kathy Kelly with Tommaso Ciampa. He brings up William Regal's announcing Adam Cole's TakeOver Portland opponent tonight. Ciampa interrupts and says, Goldie is coming home at TakeOver. And tonight, Daddy makes sure of it. Shows this big black pipe, knocks it against the wall, and walks off. And we go to commercial break, and it's like, ooh, what's going to happen here? We come back from a break, and we see this guy in a shirt and a tie running around the corner, and we see Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, Roderick Strong, all laid out. Don't know what's going on. All of a sudden, Tommaso Ciampa appears. You see he has his pipe. He tosses it as all 3 men are down. He's walking to the ring. You hear someone say, Ciampa, what did you do? Well, apparently he beat the hell out of these guys to where they're done. Comes out to the arena. His shirt is ripped. He's carrying a table, and his fans pop and chant Daddy's home at him. He brings the ring into the ring, sees the medic and officials tend at the Undisputed Era. Fans chant Psycho Killer as he puts the title up in the middle of the ring. Has some spray paint, takes it out, shakes it up a little bit, and does a big X in the middle of the table. Adam Cole arrives to the back, asking officials who did this to his partners. Cole walks out the arena with the mic as people would pretty much dime them out and said, hey, it was Ciampa. It was Ciampa. He went to the ring. He comes out and is like, who the hell do you think you are? Just because you got injured, do you think we should feel sad for you? Everyone should feel sad for you? He calls Ciampa. Ciampa thinks Ciampa He calls Ciampa a coward and says he can't get away with that. Ciampa says he's the guy who never lost that NXT title and that he's Goldie's daddy. I just love how an inanimate object is now being treated like a freaking child. I just love this. Ciampa says Cole is going to walk down this aisle, step into this ring, I'm going to whip your ass, and then I'm going to powerbomb you through this table. X marks the spot, Adam. Then I'm going to sign a contract for this match against him at Portland, and I'm going to take this title and my life back, and Goldie will come home. General Manager William Regal comes out and says while the attack was happening, he was with Cole in his office, and Cole doesn't care who he faces at TakeOver. He already signed the contract, and I was coming out here to give you the opportunity. And Cole snatches and says, I got this. I got this. He goes on about how he's Adam Cole and he's the NXT champion of the world. Cole says he's going to enter the ring, Ciampa comes over and he decks him on the top, square on top of the head. So much so that he's busted hard way immediately. There's blood running down his face as these guys are fighting and beating the hell out of each other. Ciampa eventually levels Cole with the title belt and drops him. He then picks him up and puts him through the table, grabs the contract, grabs a pen, signs it. He's bleeding. He actually took his hand and wiped it off and then licked his own blood. So while he's doing this, fans are chanting as he's signing this, use your blood, use your blood, use your blood. So he takes his hand to the blood again, hits it, and just wipes it on the contract. And then he grabs the title belt, holds it as if it's the greatest thing he's ever, talking to it again, laughing as if it told him some kind of funny joke or funny story. And that was, I think, one of the best segments I have ever seen in NXT. It was one of the best contract signings I think we've ever seen. Ciampa versus Cole. I don't think this is going to be a one-time thing. I think they're going to get this all the way to Tampa, and Ciampa might win the title there. I don't see Cole losing the title in Portland. I could be wrong, but it just feels like Tampa is the bigger spot for him to lose the title. This right here was absolutely fantastic. Just gotta say, this NXT has some of the best guys out there. AEW has some of the best segments out there you have sometimes. This by far was the best segment of the night on Wednesday night. This was absolutely awesome. We get announcers to go over the NXT Portland card now. Beth leads to some video package on Bianca Belair. Belair and NXT Women's Champion Rhea Ripley will meet in the ring segment next Wednesday. By the way, apparently the NXT Women's Championship is the NXT Women's Championship again. That didn't last very long. It shouldn't have lasted very long. So hopefully whoever thought that was a good idea was fired immediately, and they went, wow, this was stupid. Because yes, they had the NXT Women's Championship known as the NXT Women's Championship. That'll happen next week. Oddly enough, and if I'm correct and I read through this, nothing happened. They didn't mention anything about Keith Lee being in the Rumble. They mentioned nothing about Riddle being in the Rumble. They mentioned nothing about Rhea Ripley, Xia Li, or any of these other women in the NXT universe in the Royal Rumble. So NXT obviously went from being Vince McMahon has given up on NXT as a legit third brand. How long until NXT is back on the WWE Network without being on USA anymore? Jordan Devlin will be on NXT next week as he is your new NXT UK, the NXT Cruiserweight Champion. I don't know if he was supposed to actually win that match, but hey, they gave it to him, and I'm really surprised they did. Tegan Nox versus Dakota Kai. I love what they did. They had Tegan Nox come out. She's out there. There's no smile on her face. She is here for business. She is here to whip this woman's ass who took her out of War Games, who hurt her, who betrayed her, who has made her life a living hell. She is going to go out here and kick this woman's ass. Now, Tegan Nox is in the ring. She's watching, waiting for Dakota Kai's music to hit. Doesn't hit. the video, like Dakota Kai comes out after the replay of Tegan Nox, Dakota Kai turning on Tegan Nox, plays over and over, and the screams of Tegan Nox's pain plays over and over and over again in black and white. Absolutely fucking awesome. This was great. Tegan Nox looks like Dakota Kai comes out. She looks back at it. She has this look on her face of hatred, and then they go to work. They just go to work. This was about 3 minutes. These two beat the piss out of each other. They battled around towards the commentators. Freaking Mario even said, "We're not going to be expecting any catch can here," which he loves saying that word. So these guys beat the hell out of each other. Tegan Nox or Dakota Kai once, like one of them grabs a chair. One of them grabs a chair. I believe it was someone. Kai tosses someone from its steel chair and brings it over, but Nox kicks it out of her hand. Nox sends Kai face first into the ring post, and that looked absolutely sickening. Nox sends Kai into the ring and grabs a chair to follow, but the referee is distracted by Kai. Nox comes in and ducks a shot with the brace. Nox with a big German suplex. Nox runs the ropes with a suicide dive, but Kai decks her with the ropes with a forearm. Kai goes to swing the chair, but Candice LeRae runs down and comes from behind, pulling it out of her hand. Kai returns to the ring as the referee is distracted on the outside. Kai turns around with a big shot to the face with a knee brace for Nox. Nox follows up with the shiniest wizard. 1, 2, 3. Tegan Nox is your winner. She got that revenge. I don't think this is going to be the end. I think it should be the end in my opinion. Really, because she got what she needed. She got the revenge on Tegan Nox, on Dakota Kai. Nothing else for these two to do. So that was it was a good 3-minute match. They got a lot in there. It went as long as it needed to do, and Tegan Nox was your winner. Back from break, and we get the teaser from the Flaming Circles again. This time it rearranges itself to 5:20. So next week on NXT, we'll find out. A lot of people are speculating it to be the Velveteen Dream because when it was before they rearranged themselves, the 5:20 was in the pattern of the Velveteen Dream sunglasses, where he has the two that is regular eyes, and then the third one above it. So people are speculating that's Velveteen Dream. But they were flaming circles. Why would when has Velveteen Dream done anything with flames? I don't know. I don't know what it could be. It could be Velveteen Dream. I'm not gonna say it's not. I don't have a clue. So look forward to next week 5:20 as we find out who is the flaming person. And then we go into Chelsea Green versus Kayden Carter. This is Chelsea Green's first actual match in NXT. She of course made her main roster Monday Night Raw debut during the holidays as she lost to, I believe, Charlotte Flair. Since then, she has joined Robert Stone's brand. It's great to see Chelsea Green out here. I think it's been a long time coming. It's been great to see. They did mention her wrist injury she suffered at an NXT taping back in March of last year, which probably stopped her chances from coming to the to NXT's roster and held her back. So great to see her there. And she took on Kayden Carter. I don't know what they're doing with Chelsea Green. She ends up losing this match as she goes for she drops her with a big boot, and she's just talking trash. Just talking trash. And then Kayden Carter gets her with the same type of roll-up that the team of Hawkins and Ryder used to beat the Revival at WrestleMania last year on the pre-show. So she gets rolled up. 1, 2, 3. Kayden Carter is your winner. Will this hurt Chelsea Green? No, I think this is part of her character. I think this is part of what's building her up for bigger and better things. She's going to lose a couple times, and then she's going to turn around and beat people as she goes. But she's just not, I don't know. She's just not where they want her to be just yet. The losing is going to be part of it. We don't want her to go out there and just continue just to win. And now we get the Gusty Rhodes finals, the Tag Team Classic finals. The Broserweights, Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne versus the GYV, Quezzo Young and Vets of James Drake and Zach Gibson. This was a fantastic match. These four guys went out there put their bodies on the line in the name of Dusty Rhodes, in the name of tag team wrestling, showing that, and it's kind of funny because one of the Revival, I think it was Scott Dawson, put a tweet out saying tag team wrestling doesn't draw, which was this response to how Vince McMahon feels about the tag team division and why the tag team division in WWE sucks on the main roster. Because Vince McMahon does not see tag team wrestling drawing. Joey Janela, of course, posted a reply saying in AEW, it does. And yes, they've had multiple main events of tag team wrestling that actually freaking matters. This right here was a tag team wrestling match that shows you that tag team wrestling can draw. It's ironic that there is a tag team wrestling tournament in WWE inside NXT where the main roster sucks at tag team wrestling. I just find it ironic how you have Raw and SmackDown, where you have some of the best tag teams from the Usos, the Revival, the New Day, the Viking Raiders, the AOP, and your tag team champion, or the New Day as well. And the Raw tag team champions are Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy. SmackDown tag team champions, of course, are the New Day right now, but of course, because WWE and Vince McMahon loves himself some New Day. But you see this match, you watch this match. I couldn't do this match justice even I tried. But there was a point in this match where you had Zach Gibson had Pete Dunne in a tombstone on the outside, and James Wade came out and they did a spike tombstone. Absolutely brutal. Should have been the end of the Broserweights right there. Should have been it. Should have been it for Pete Dunne. It should have been 2-on-1 for the rest of the match. Now, I knew going into this, it felt like when they made it a tag team title match, it made it seem like more that the Broserweights were going to win this. Why would you give James Drake and Zach Gibson a tag team title shot? And the fact that you just put these guys together, and the fact, and yes, Marvin Allen mentioned that they have been tagging for about 3 weeks, the Broserweights, and the fact that they won the entire tournament, which would not have been my pick at all for the win. I would have won with the time splitters, but that's just me. But Dunne fights off Drake with a bunch of chops. Drake rocks him back in the ropes. Drake sends Dunne's shoulder first into the ring post. Dunne falls to the floor for the boos to continue. Back from break, Gibson hits a big German on Dunne. This match just was going crazy. Miles a minute. These guys going out there giving you everything. We had Ticket to Mayhem blocked. We had moves by the Broserweights being blocked. Moves from both teams hitting their finishers. Riddle with a powerbomb and a final flash to Gibson for a very, very close 2 count. Very close. Riddle with you had double Brotons by both the Broserweights. Definitely some good shit. Riddle rocks Gibson, but Drake assists with a double team. Gibson drops Riddle and Drake flies off the top rope. Gibson covers Riddle for still kicks out at 2. As the fans are loving this match. There was a time in this match where Riddle and Dunne had dual ankle locks on the Grizzled Young Vets. Dunne takes Gibson to the floor with a big moonsault as Riddle hits a floating bro. Now, the finish of this match, I don't think anyone else is going to mention this. I don't remember James Drake tagging back in. I don't remember James Drake tagging in after he tagged in Zach Gibson. Let me see here. Yeah, I don't remember James Drake tagging in towards the end of this match. I remember Zach Gibson tagging in, and then all this stuff going down, and then James Drake gets hit with the bro to sleep, 1, 2, 3, and the Broserweights win. But nothing of a mention of, oh, he wasn't the legal man. Gibson, I'm pretty sure Gibson was your champ. Because Gibson shoulders to the floor, fans saying holy shit after he takes the down. Riddle rocks Gibson, but Drake assists him with the double team. Gibson drops Riddle and Drake to flies off the top rope. Gibson covers Riddle, but still kicks out at 2. Gibson and Drake go for another double team, but Dunne comes back in. Dunne and Riddle hit the bro Derek on both of their opponents. Dunne takes Gibson down on the floor with a big moonsault. Never tagged in Drake. Riddle hits a floating bro on Drake in the ring. Finish sees a double team of them hitting the enziguri to the head while Riddle connects with the bro to sleep. In 1, 2, 3, Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne win, pinning the wrong superstar. I hope they bring this up on next Wednesday's show, because I didn't see James Drake getting tagged in. But NXT, it was a hell of a match. But it does get taken away a little bit because of that misstep. I don't know if he was supposed to tag in James Drake, or if that is just the way they're going to do things. But that was NXT. Hell of a show this week. Both AEW and NXT had great shows. Can't wait to see what happens with these two shows going on. We have TakeOver Portland coming very soon. Very, very, very soon. I believe the 15th? Yeah, the 15th. And then 2 weeks later, we have Revolution. So we have, if you don't count Super Showdown, we have 2 great pay-per-views coming out very, very soon this next month. So hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Find me on Twitter at The France Club. Find me on twitch.tv/The France Club. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for a review with SmackDown, where we are getting more of the same. They're calling it a Super SmackDown, but it's just rematch after rematch after rematch. But that is all, and I'll see you guys later.